Yeah.
But in the video.
Let's have one in the.
Or like this.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
we recorded from that and then
Yeah.
so everyone is
Included, yeah.
everyone's included. Just 1 second. The podcast name was. Do you remember the name of the podcast? Your professor. What was today something? Wait 1 moment.
Didn't we discuss it? Oh, we haven't discussed the name.
Okay. Because your professor. I don't know if it's your professor. I think so. He told something to Francesca about the name. He proposed a name, and it was. I'm not finding it. Oh, doesn't matter. Because I'd like to mention it, but okay, it's not important.
Punya sih nggak akan kalian berdua aja. Kita udah.
Okay. Terus ada gimana? Oke.
Education cewek lah.
Apa?
Education cewek lah.
Gampang.
Gue terus
Santai.
chill. Gue akan roasting abis.
Not good.
Nah, I'm just gonna be completely honest.
Ya.
Terus pas
Penasaran. Gagal.
I don't know. Try.
Acil kayaknya.
too sensitive.
Too sensitive, too noisy, whispery, and
Yeah, I see.
that kind of things.
Do people like to wear this one?
They usually wear them, but
Okay.
someone chooses to wear them, someone chooses not to.
Oh, fascinating.
Ja,
Are you ready?
Yes.
Start?
annars kan man se om det där.
I see.
Ja, nu ska jag.
This time you can say only your names, as I said.
Okay.
Ja. Inte så rozbadjat och... So,
Glora. Aziza.
Aziza?
Aziza. Top.
No, so only the name. Okay. Z.
Yes.
Okay.
Eva.
Okay. En second there. Okay.
Hi everyone and welcome back. In this new episode we'll talk. everyone, and welcome back. In this new episode, we'll talk about the Indonesian education. Oh God.
It's okay. We do that all the time.
We do.
Yeah. Okay, let's start again. Hi everyone, and welcome back. In this new episode, we'll talk about the Indonesian education system, which is of course different from ours and from, I think, every other country in the world, probably. This topic will highlight the experiences of exchange students from Indonesian International Student Mobility Awards at the University of Siena. Through this topic, we will also discover why Indonesia is becoming an increasingly attractive destination for international students and what they take away from their time in this diverse and dynamic country. So my first question would be about the kind of classrooms you have in your schools and in your university, because I usually look for, in universities at least, no, mi sono dimenticata di fare l'introduzione. Cioè i nomi. Names.
Okay.
Da capo?
No, da capo no. Ho detto in dynamic country. Okay, country. I can use the first part and then I'll say, I'm Flavia and we're here with... And go ahead with the questions. Okay. Stai registrando ancora? I'm Flavia and today we're here with...
My name is Eva.
My name is Z.
I'm Aziza.
And I'm Gigi.
Okay, so let's start with questions. I would ask you, how does studying in Siena compare to studying in Indonesia in terms of academic environment and also classroom atmosphere?
Okay, so for me, as a mechanical engineering student, and in this exchange student period, I took 3 courses like international economic and marketing and innovation management and also project management. Those 3 courses are very different than what I've learned in my country, which I usually learn about machine learning and everything about mechanical engineering. So it's very different, but it's very interesting. I find it very interesting. And in Indonesia, usually we only learn from textbook. Mainly we learn from textbooks and articles and journals. But in Italy, we were encouraged by the professors to have a discussion at class, and I think it's wonderful.
Yeah, I also agree with the discussion thing. I take this course called religion diplomacy, and as an economic student, as a management student, I've never learned such thing, and the class is really fun for me because we get to discuss about religion and what do people think of God. Is he an actor, or is he a belief? Like, why do religion exist? And that's really interesting for me because I've never learned that in Indonesia, and I will probably never learn that if I've never come to Siena. Yeah, that's my favorite course.
Okay, well, from me, I think I have the same background with Eva. I'm from computer science, and here I'm taking like interdisciplinary courses such as marketing, economics, and computational linguistics. But one of the most highlight for me in studying in Siena is the marketing courses. So for marketing course, they digest into marketing theories, application, from the business perspective and technical perspective, and I think it's quite interesting, especially when the professor explained about the concept of like marketing and whatnot. He included various like explanation, sentences, phrases from Italians, what they used to market products back in the day and now, and I think especially when we had this excursion to the glass factory in Siena. It's called the RCR. We went into the factory, watched how the glasses were made, and for me, as a computer science student, I never had such course with an excursion, and I think going out of class to learn various new things is the most interesting part for me.
I think for me personally, being an English literature student back in my hometown, the atmosphere of the class that I took here, some classes is kind of similar. I took 4 classes. 2 of them are in the social diplomacy class, so it is like a social humanities field. So I don't think there has a big difference between those two. I took new media and globalization and then religious diplomacy as well, I would say. Those classes is for me is not that different from my experience back in my hometown. We usually just we are learning from the professor explained to us, and then it's not like that technical from the class. However, I took 2 other classes which is more of a under the engineering department, and the other is like language and mind department. The engineering class is called project management, though it is under the engineering department. It is not very technical, so me as an English literature student can keep up with the lessons. But I think the participation of participation of other students really fascinates me because they are so active, they are so vocal of their opinions, which is really fascinates me the most. And then the last course I think is computational linguistics. This is maybe by far the most aligned with what I learned back in hometown, because I study English literature with focus in linguistics, and here I take computational linguistics. However, the difference is I have to learn linguistics alongside with computational language, which is like codings, informatics, such things, which is really new to me. So yeah, I think that it is different, but I enjoy it.
And I will also to add like the computational linguistic topic, because I took the same class with Aziza. Like for me, it's quite interesting as a computer science student studying computational linguistics. So looking at the like linguistic jargons, and then how linguistic problems were solved with computation, and the professor itself. So the class is in the master's program as far as I can remember. So we were encouraged to read a lot of papers, references about both computation and linguistic. And for me, that is quite challenging because I haven't finished my bachelor yet. But yeah, the class itself, how the professor presented the class, it's quite interesting because compared to my professor in Indonesia. So here, Professor Chessy approached the topics and problems in this class with not so technical approach, but he included like pop cultures, and then he included how computation and linguistic in films, literatures, and corresponded it to the today's problem to solve nowadays problem like AI and then machine learning, and how they could be applied into real life problems. So it's not very textbook, but based on the today's problem, and I think it's quite interesting and intriguing.
Would you say here it's overall more involving than in Indonesia? Participate in the classroom. I mean, so you said the lecturers are more oriented towards discussion rather than focusing on articles and that kind of stuff. So do you feel more involved, and do you participate with more will, if I may say?
Yes, for me, I even every night before the lecture, I read the book and also watch the recording of the courses, because I am really encouraged to be active in the class. However, in reality, maybe I'm not that active in class, but it's interesting how the professor always encourages us to have the discussion, it really intrigued me to learn a lot so that I can become more active in class. So yes.
For me, I think it depends. Like in Indonesia, I pursue economy. So in class, we usually have discussion with the professors and the lecturers. But here, it's more like, I don't know, they're more open to the students. Like the students are all opinionated. They have strong principle about their opinions, and the professor, they are accepting that. They make students feel comfortable in the discussion. When in Indonesia, some professors not so much open to the students' opinion, and they're more like, no, you're wrong. That's not how it should be. But in Siena, I don't feel that way.
It's better like this then.
Yeah.
One of my biggest curiosity is about your kind of classrooms. I mean, the architecture of. Do you find any differences? Are they bigger, smaller? Are they in have different shapes or?
Yeah, I think answering that question might be differ by us because we are come from like different faculties, even different universities. So every universities can have different classroom layout. But for me, I study in Universitas Gadjah Mada, or translated as Gadjah Mada University in Yogyakarta. I study in the social and humanities. Cultural sciences faculty. In there, the classroom and the building, yeah, just like stacked up, and then just like modern building as usual. And then the classroom is usually like there is like big classroom like auditorium, and then there's like small classroom. But the one that I find different from a lot, like different and similarities. So in my faculty, it's called like science, human sciences, I think, cultural sciences. Sorry, cultural sciences faculty. It is known to be like very cultural. There are some like artifacts and like some I don't know, more like the life of the past, like like artifacts. We have buildings that have I don't know what to say, like what is it? Statue. Yeah, like a statue of like a temple, of like a certain temple. And here I recently come to like the Matioli class, and then I went to like the side of the Matioli class. I don't know what's that like, but that was the recital of a piano like last night, and then I found like a really big student student chamber where they studied there, and I got there and like, wow, this is very very beautiful. I think the architecture of Siena's classroom can be the same, but it can also be different from my experience. Yeah.
If you want.
Oh yeah, well, for me, like I attend the same university as Aziza. Well, comparing it to my faculty in Indonesia, so I'm in the faculty of mathematics and natural sciences. So yeah, I'm in the faculty of mathematics and natural sciences. The building is more modern, and as far as I know, my faculty was renewed in 2016, so it's quite new. They had this new lounge, new cafeteria. The classroom were all renovated and very modernistic. Well, compared to the engineering department in Siena, it's in San Nicolo, and it's, I don't know, it's for me quite shocking and interesting at the same time, realizing that the faculty is, in the past it was like Ospedale Psikiatrio, it was the psychiatric hospital. When I knew the literal translation of it, I was like laughing out loud, and seeing the architecture from outside and inside the building was really intriguing because, as far as I know, it lasted from like 100 and 1800 ish, and to see such building as hospital to be made into such classrooms, it is quite interesting upon how the faculty in Siena like conserve the remnants of the past and incorporate it into the use of the future for education like now.
I think I want to add like the most prominent distinction that you can see between campus in Indonesia and in Europe in general. Like people in Europe, like you guys in Siena, they have separated faculty building around the city, right? Within the city, like for example, you have San Nicolo and then Mattioli and then San Francesco. But in Indonesia, it's just one big area of university with every faculty in it. So
it must be huge.
Yeah, that's huge. Like for example, my university, Universitas Indonesia, it's 320 hectare.
Wow.
It's really huge. So that's the most prominent differences between European university and Indonesian university.
Wow. If you could give advice to other Indonesian students considering studying here in Siena, what would you tell them?
I would really encourage Indonesian students to learn not only in Siena but in international world in general, because they will receive so many insights here. They will receive so many new experiences, new friends, and new knowledge, which I think will be very useful and very interesting. So yeah, just give it a go and it will be a very beautiful journey.
I also would like to add, well, for me, it's more about learning the culture. I mean, like, for learning economy, for example, it's similar everywhere in the world. Like in Indonesia, we learn about supply and demand, also in Siena, but to know more about the culture of people who live here, it's fascinating for me at the same time, and also I feel like everyone should experience living abroad in general.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
What? I wanted to say something, I forgot.
Take your time. It's okay.
I'm thinking about what you said.
Which one?
She just said something.
Culture.
Like the university area.
Architecture?
No, you said you're more interested in learning from culture. I don't know. I wanted to say something about that. That was appropriate.
Such a comedic timing.
Yes. Great comedic timing.
And at this point, how does studying in Indonesia provide? What has been your biggest challenge in Siena, and how did you overcome it?
For me personally, the biggest challenge that I've faced while living here is, I think, the weather, because the weather here is very very cold. 20 degrees Celsius is already freezing for us. 20 degrees, yeah, that's right. Even when the sun is out, but the wind blow is like really really cold and freezing. So I think like it's getting colder, right? And then we're just like really, really struggling to like go out at night because of the cold weather and cold winds. And yeah, because I'm personally not really good with cold weather, so my nose is really is kind of like often being stuffy, and you cannot breathe at night. And then yeah, I struggle with that the most. But yeah, other than that, I think academic, social life, cultural, I think it is manageable for me. Like it is feasible. I think I enjoy the experience that I have here. Like other than the weather, like no.
Siena is not among the coldest cities in Italy. You should never go to Milan.
Well, but like in our country, usually like 30 degrees every day. So like it's such a culture shock for me and for us, maybe.
Wow.
Right. I believe that when we got here, the first time we got here, everyone got a flu because like we were not used to the weather and our nose got stuffy. Luckily, we brought medicine from Indonesia, so yeah, that was solved quickly.
Oh my god, I didn't expect it to be that cold on the outside.
Yeah, because like in Indonesia, for us, it was blazing hot for you Italian guys because it's normal to us for having like 30 degrees Celsius up to 40 on some kind of days. Like it was hot for us, but here, like the weather, the change in weather and climate, I think it's not only affecting our health, like it broadens to a lot of aspects for living in Siena. For instance, like the cold weather results in us having to find warm foods because our body having to get used to the weather. We like eat more we eat more like foods, and then due to the weather also we cannot like go out in the night because we have to warm ourselves up. And then the opening hours on the shops here also, it's I don't know, it affects us a lot because we're not used to having shops close at maybe like 8 or 9 p.m. Because back in Indonesia there were so many shops open 24 hours.
24 hours?
Yeah, 24 hours, and they never close. They sell these like groceries, snacks. So as a college student, especially us who's not living in our like home, we in a flat or apartment, we maybe some of us never cooks. So if we are hungry late in the night, want some snacks, we just go to the 24-hour market and grab some meal. And while here, like we cannot do that, and we have to cook, we have to adjust our time. Meanwhile, we have to survive the cold and all. Yeah.
It's a struggle.
For me, I think the biggest challenges in Siena is the courses, especially my favorite courses is marketing and innovation management, but it's a course for masters. But I'm a bachelor student. I haven't finished my study in mechanical engineering, and I haven't learned anything about marketing. So it's really something new to me, and I have to catch up a lot of things to be able to have the same knowledge with my classmates. And it's a very interesting course, but it took a lot of hard work. That's for me.
I also would like to add, I think every Indonesian have this experience in Italy, especially most of all in Europe. It's like the value of Indonesian money, rupiah, is so much lower than euro. So like for example, the minimum wage in Jakarta, the capital city, is only around 300 euros. And with that much money, you can live alone comfortably. But in Europe, like 300 euros is not even our monthly payment of accommodation. So yeah, it's kind of hard to adjust our expenses.
Okay. And what are some cultural activities or experiences that international students like you should not miss while living in Indonesia?
I would suggest to explore Indonesian foods. We have so many delicious foods, and from savory foods and desserts, I think international students should try that because they are all very delicious.
Yeah, for me, other than delicacy, people should visit beach other than Bali. Like not just Bali. Indonesia is really huge. We have lots of island, around 17,000 island in Indonesia, and every location has its own unique charm. For example, instead of Bali, you can go to Lombok, Parangtritis, Mentawai, and that's such a good place to just chill by the beach. Instead of, yeah, but Bali is also beautiful.
What do you think it's attractive for international students coming in Indonesia?
Yeah, I think the most attractive things that Indonesia has to offer is the food, because the food is just it's just like chef kiss. Like I know like some people or some international students coming from a country that has a lot of spice in their food would be like a little bit culture shock of what other food be, but like it is just really worth to try, really worth to begin your journey in Indonesia with our foods, I think.
Anything else? No?
Yeah, well, coming from me, I think aside from the foods, like my friends talk a lot about the foods, I think international students also have to try like travel, and just don't travel only in like Java Island. Travel to maybe Sulawesi, to Papua, to Kalimantan. That's where my hometown is. There's a lot of beautiful landscapes, portraits, and then scenery. You should go hiking, go diving deep in the sea, because like Indonesia is very huge. Indonesia offer a lot of like territories and different kind of sites, and I don't think people really look deep into that, and it's overlooked. So if you love traveling, just don't travel only in Java, go to other islands, and it's quite, I think for Europeans, pretty much affordable, and just try to travel and interact with the local people and the culture as well, because it's really interesting and intriguing if you take your time and deep dive into it.
Okay, that was a lot of information, interesting information. I want to discover more of these more than 70,000 islands. And one last question for me is about the social life, because education, of course, offers a lot on the social side. So how does the social life in Siena, since you live here now, differ from what you're used to in Indonesia?
I think it's more of a struggle experience here, social life, because when we first arrived here in Italy, in Siena, I mean, we had to live so far away from the centro. We live in a place called Wopini. Yeah. It's Monte Johnny, and then it was like for us it is quite hard to socialize with people with the same age as us, because all the time we have to catch the bus. We have to like going home early because of the buses. We cannot stay in the central too long, and even in our old apartment in Wopini, I think the social life was like very like not that sociable. I don't know, like it's not like very lively, the social condition in our old apartment. But when we first live in the central here, we do have like a different experience in our social life, because we can stay in the central for like how like as long as we can.
Because you don't have to catch the bus.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
Exactly. So we can go to places in the central like as long as we want, and then we can stay in the campus as long as we want. We can like, especially for like a group project, like we have to do like a this group discussion outside of the class. Of course, like we can do it like more comfortably and more longer. So yeah, I think it does have like a big impact on us, on our, especially on our social life.
I can imagine, and I'm glad you moved here in the center.
We are glad.
Yeah. Maybe I want to talk more about the people of Siena. What I love about Siena is that the people are really kind and welcoming, and I really appreciate that. Like one time, I fell in front of Mattioli building, and an old man just came to me and then collected my things that fell from my bag, and it was really kind. And also when I do groceries, like people usually just let me, yeah, you can go first to the cashier, and that's really kind. People in Siena in general are really lovely and they're welcoming, even though I'm a foreigner, and I love that.
Siena is full of students coming from abroad, so maybe, I don't know who you have interacted with, if they were people from Siena, or if they were like us, like exchange students, or not exchange students. I mean, I come from the south of Italy. There are a lot of students coming from all over Italy, so, but yes, I guess we're kind.
Yeah, pretty kind. Because like it's, I don't know, coming from like Indonesia. So I had this experience in Siena. One time I lost my glasses in the near the San Francisco building. Like I lost it after the class. I put it on the somewhere in the chair near the San Francisco building, and I lost it. And I searched for it everywhere. I couldn't find it for like an hour, and then when I came to the table, the office table, I asked for some glasses, and then they just kept it. They said that someone just saw the glass sitting in the chair and then give it to the office table. Like, I don't know. I don't think that will more likely happen in Indonesia.
Right.
And there's this one time where my friend, like, she had her bag opened. She had some purses and wallets on it. Like, she, from the campus to Uopini, she took some bus, 20 minutes bus, and she just realized while coming home, her bag were still open, and, well, she didn't lose her wallet. Like, what a joy to have some security and safety living in Siena. That's the level of kind that I want to impose to the listeners. Sienese people is very kind.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, a lot of locations in Indonesia are really safe, but not that safe.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a good conclusion for us.
Yeah. Siena, like the city of Siena is not the city that we imagine city in Italy, like quote unquote, because we seen a lot of Milan, we seen a lot of Rome, we seen a lot of Naples, but we haven't really seen a lot of Siena, so we don't have that much expectation. And after we came here, it's just like really lovely. Like, yeah, we really enjoy it. Like, it's all like everyone's so kind, and especially when we are going to cross the road, the cars just like stop, and it does not happen in all Italy, especially in Indonesia. So it's really a remarkable experience for us. And I also want to add one thing, being like social life in Indonesia and in Italy. I mean, most of my friends are exchange students. Because I think I haven't really had like friends from like Italy, because in my class or in my campus they don't speak English. So I think I find it harder to engage with Italian, like native Italian people in here. So yeah, I think I look forward if like engaging more with like local Italians, because I want to hear their experience living here. I want to learn the language from them, and yeah, I think that's what like my experience.
Well, thank you all for sharing what you had to share about your culture and the differences you noticed here. I would conclude the episode here, and next time we'll talk about the culinary identity of your country. So we'll talk about food, beverages, and in Indonesian national and regional culture. So that's all for now. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. See you next time.
Closing and
Oh.
oh yeah, we want to use the same closing.
Yes, we can use the one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay then. Okay. I made a lot of mistakes this time.
Hey.
We do too.
Me
Aren't
too.
we all?
Culinary.
Yum.
How long?
35, 36.
That was also very long.
Sorry. Do we talk too much or?
Yeah.